some friends were talking about goddess days, how one of our mentors talks about having a goddess day where you carve out a day to be in your goddess energy. And I shared how that's something that I've been doing at this point. Gosh, this sounds a little mind-blowing for me to say, but for years. Wow, time flies. It almost feels like just yesterday, but also like eons ago, because wow, I am not even the same person and so much has changed. But I didn't call them, I haven't called them goddess days. I called them flow days, like go with the flow. And this initiated from one of my mentors as well, who was helping me break out of the very masculine energy that I had been in for so long. The paradigm of doing to produce results, feeling like you need to work or get things done, cross things off of your to-do list, and like, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? What do I need to do? Just so focused on doing. And she was helping me unravel that, detangle that from that energy. And yes, there's still doing, but it's a different energy to the doing. So she suggested I took a week to put my to-do lists away and just be in my pleasure. And basically what I did, I'm not sure if this is exactly how she assigned it, but like what I took it as and how it continued, where I would continue to do it at least one day a week, of just going with the flow from moment to moment, checking in. What do I desire right now? Because I had been so disconnected from that. I had been so focused on what do I need to do, all the things I need to do, and my being took a back burner, and I was so disconnected from that. So it took like a radical experience like this to help shift that. And it still took, it took some time after that, but like to start to just really connect to the feminine energy, the being energy, not the doing energy. To be clear, it doesn't mean we shun the doing. It's a dance. And masculine energy is the bowl that holds the soup or the glass that holds the water or whatever. The feminine is the flow. And having that container, that structure to hold the feminine energy supports it so that it doesn't just, go all over the place. So if you've never done this, highly suggest it. If you can take a whole day, if you can take a whole week, fantastic. It can also be lovely to just like carve out an hour a day. Whatever works for you and feels aligned for you and achievable for you, to just like, let me check in and what do I actually desire right now? Do I desire a bowl of cherries or ice cream? Do I desire to take a bath? Do I desire to read a book? Do I desire to play with my kids? Do I desire to jump rope or take a nature walk or take a swim or whatever? It doesn't have to look any particular way. It doesn't have to fit in as a feminine thing to do or pampering thing to do. When we think of like having a goddess day or connecting more to our feminine energy or being more in pleasure, we think of like bubble baths and massages and manicures and pedicures and whatever. And that absolutely can be a part of it if that brings you joy and pleasure and makes you feel good. I know massages make me feel fantastic and I love them. It can be so much more than that though. It can be simply laying in bed in your pajamas all day, reading a book in your bed or in your hammock, taking a nature walk, playing with your kids, going out to a nice dinner, meditating, doing a program. It's just connecting to your being of what fills your cup, what fills you up, what feels good to you, what makes your cup overflow. Because when your cup overflows, then you just have an abundance to give to others. Like you're not pouring from an empty cup and you're left depleted and dried out and like, oh my goodness, I'm burnt out. And then you like get sick and you're knocked out for a week, or you, whatever happens. Instead, your cup overflows and there's so much available. So just connecting to your being, connecting to like when you are focused on your being before anything else, focused on your being over the doing, because who you are being when you are doing impacts the doing like 100%. You will get such different results from the doing if the being behind it is aligned and energized and fulfilled and overflowing. If you're doing just to because you should, or you have to, or because someone else thinks you should, or because you think it will make you worthy, or because it looks good, or all the reasons that you would, then it won't produce the same results. Sometimes it will fall completely even flat. It won't land the same way. It won't have the same effect. So when you can kind of relax and surrender from the doing and only do what is aligned to do, what feels good to do. Like it's so simple. And sometimes there will be things that don't feel good, but it's aligned, and you know, there's a little nuance there. But like you'll know the more that you connect to this, the more that you are in tune with this, the more you'll know. Am I doing this because it's aligned? Am I doing this because this is an inspired action from the divine, from my higher self? Or am I doing this because I feel like I should, or I need to, or to please someone, or to look good, or to avoid something else? So the feminine energy is the being. It's not necessarily about like the frilly pink whatever colors and bubble baths and pedicures and massages, although that can be a part of it. It is just unique to you what feels good.